Well, hi there, everyone. I just started the streaming. So, hi, Claire. Hi, Sally. Hi, Alison. Hi, Gregory. And hi, Ray. So, welcome to the first week of the third round of, I'm going to call it the money attraction game. And today we get to find out how everybody's been going with regards to this game. And so, first things first, how's everybody finding the app?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Okay. So the app's working okay for everybody. It's not throwing up funny numbers or anything like that. All right. Okay. Well, what I've done for myself in the game is instead of resetting from $1,000, I started from $30,000 from when I finished off last time. Oh my God. How you blow $30,000 a day? Whew. All right. Well, we'll talk about that later. All right. So well, the thing is, once you've done the holidays and you've got the new car and you got what you'd spend it on, it's crazy, you know. So, anyhow, so I want to start with Claire because how are you today, Claire?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks, Paul. Loving your app.
That's great, thanks. I've seen that you've been enjoying yourself with the app. How did you find your first week on playing the money attraction game?
Yeah, no, that was good. And what I liked about it is we actually had to investigate how much things cost. And, life gets so busy and some days I'd forget to do it. So I'd have to come in twice, But, it's good. I love spending money. But what you were saying before is it's all very well having the houses and the cars, but then extending it out into the world and supporting the world is where I want to go with it as well. But, yeah, I've just got to buy a few more things first.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I know that for me, what I've done is I think I put $30,000 to charity, and now I'm buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm going to put some into my superannuation, which for Gregory is like your 401k plans. It's just. It's a nice problem to have is how to spend so much money. And I know the first two times I played the game, I found that, as you got into the high numbers, once you've got everything, what do you spend it on? Ray, you were the first in. How did you go for the first week?
First up, best dressed is what they say here at times. But I'm good. I'm finding the app good. I think it started off at 3,000 bucks a day, and it's just been doubling. So it's up to about 20,000 in there right now. But I read a good article yesterday on money, and it was about an English guy who was still young, 30 or 38 or something. There's a few million bucks in the bank, but the story wasn't about the money. Nothing is about the money. It was about the freedom the money gives you, and the choices that you can do something with, And it made me realize that why I got into business was for the money, but it wasn't for the money. It was for the actual freedom of choice and the freedom not to be bound, So I thought it was a different twist on things, That's my bit.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I don't think anybody wants the money. I think it's what the money can get for them, and that's a nice little insight because people are so busy chasing money. Because they want a certain lifestyle, but they're too busy putting money aside and not actually living that lifestyle. So that's a great little insight.
Well,
hello, Nicolette.
Remember the comic strips? The comic strips of Scrooge McDuck, years ago. And
Well, one of the other things is now you said you're coming to Sydney. So Ray lives in New Zealand. And he's coming to Sydney, so you can spend money on coming to Sydney. He's instead of staying, you can stay in whatever accommodation you want. If you've got $2 or $3 grand to spend and just stay a few nights, you can stay in a nice little hotel with that kind of money. And that's really what the money does. It gives you this freedom. All right. So let's go to Sally. How are you going?
Yeah, what is this? My third time round. And so
Yes.
this week, I've got a client who couldn't afford all this treatment. So it's been fantastic. So every day I've just been putting in for that. And then, I just find now I haven't got enough money, whereas when I started, I was struggling to spend it and, felt guilty. And now it's just like, it's just not enough, because then it opens up all the possibilities of what you can do with other people. So I've really loved it, because I've felt as though I've been paying for this treatment, which, I'm putting it out there. She can't afford it at the moment. So, yeah, it's completely turned it on its head from the first time around.
Yeah, I remember the first time around, you were the one that felt guilty about having all the money. Which is a bit of a handbrake in attracting the money to you. But it's nice to be able to help other people. That's one of the great advantages of having money. Now we've had a lot of people come into this and say, I don't need any more money. It's not about needing more money. It's about
what you can do with
having the money so that if you want to be able to help somebody, you can help somebody.
Yeah. But it feels like I'm doing it. That was probably the biggest difference. Rather than just saying I'm doing it, I actually feel as though I'm saving and putting away towards this treatment for her. So like it's been a weird feeling.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if you go and have a look back at some of your earlier things that you wanted to spend your money on and see how many of those have actually come to you. I know I've got a little scooter that I run around in.
Yeah. Well, I put out in the last lot for a health retreat, and I'm going in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so,
fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And the other thing is you've put a lot of money into your clothing range, and
that's right. All of that invested, all of that, and that's been spent now. That's
right, and now that's going to generate even more money. So you have to think even bigger, Sally.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop playing this then.
No. Alison, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks, Paul. Interesting you come to me after Sally, because what I spend some of my money on is pre-ordering Sally's tops, Sally's clothing. So I've got a whole range for me and a whole range for my daughter, whether she wears it or not. So that was good, because, I was saying to Sally yesterday, have you got like a pre-order system worked out? So I decided I was going to preempt that by putting in my pre-order. So Sal, I've ordered 14 tops. Get your A and G. One each color. Now I'm having a lot of fun, Paul. One thing, and I'm really loving the app is now kind of working, but I've been a bit slow with things that have been happening to be able to upload it every day. So last night I went on a spending spree, and I was really happy to see that the app is kind of working to give me the daily kind of allocation. What I really want to double check, and that's why I think I went a bit slow, is because I use both the laptop application as well as my phone. And last time around they were syncing. So I want to get back to syncing that, because I'm on the laptop more than I'm on the phone, and I'm more comfortable with the laptop. But having said all that, I again just want to acknowledge you for getting this beautiful app up and running. And while it's a little bit sort of simple at the moment, acknowledging that this is really only the second iteration where you're kind of honing it. So I'm so looking forward to when you've got it as schmick as you want. And that's really exciting as well. But I'm loving spending the money.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you. And so I'll have a look at how we can sync that. And I thought it was just syncing anyway, but sometimes you've got two links. So if you don't install it, you've got the two separate links. So I'll have a look and just see what's happening in the background.
Thank you.
Gregory, our friend from America, welcome. This is your third time round as well. So how are you finding it the third time round?
About the same as always, having difficulty finding things to spend it on. I did try to purchase a particular vehicle that I wanted here the other day, but I wanted it custom made because money is no object. So I was on the website trying to custom build it, and they weren't allowing me to have options and features that I wanted. So I just kind of gave up on that one for the day. And so I really haven't spent anything yet, but I do like the fact that I'm watching it build every day, because I do update every single day, and I include my other bank accounts, so that the sum is all. So it does fluctuate up and down a little bit, but overall every day it grows. And I love that. I very rarely do I have a negative thought toward anything around finances anymore. It's going away. It's becoming, seeing that every day and watching it, rise and fall just a little bit, but overall growing massively. It's teaching something. It's making something set in up there. It's kind of like a confidence or a faith that, because we have abundance in all things, it's available to us, but we're closed off to some things because of our thinking. And nobody wakes up, goes to bed at night wondering if the sun will come up. They just, without even consciously thinking about it, they know that it will. Nobody wakes up in the morning and wonders if they're going to have enough breath to enough air to breathe that day. They just know that there's an abundance of that. And money is starting to kind of, it should be the same way. You should wake up every day and not have to have any conscious thought about whether or not you have what you want or need. Anything, you like Ray was saying, freedom. And so I really love actually just watching it build every day.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing about this game is some people love to watch the money build, and other people love to spend the money. And it's just, there's no rules to this. You just do whatever you want to do with the game. And Alison says subliminal, and you and I did Think and Grow Rich, and one of the chapters in the book is auto-suggestion. And there's this constant auto-suggestion that you want to keep going in your mind. Oh, Alison's got the book. Nice one, Alison. It's this auto-suggestion that you want to keep happening in your mind until it does become reality or becomes habit. So that's great news. Hello, Nicolette. Great to have you back. How was your trip to Holland?
Well, I was just going to say, not the reason I wanted to go, of course, but yeah, it was very interesting as well when you started already the game, and I was over there, of course, but it was with ease how easily I spent the money when it's needed. Within seconds, booking flights, spending the money. The flights were ridiculously expensive. Some are like $10,000 a one way, but what is $10,000 in that respect? I didn't pay that for it, but it's just money. So if there's something you want, then that's what you get, and you just do it. And that's what I really realized as well. It was just without any hesitation how easily I did that, and I've never had there an issue. But I found, just thinking about the game when I did that afterwards, and I was like, oh, well, that's what I do. But I also realized you need to be very specific where you want to spend it on, not just saying on a trip to Europe, because I spent it on a trip to Europe, but not for the reasons I wanted it. So, and not the places I wanted to go to. So you need to be very specific as well, because what you put out there is what you get. So if you're not specific enough, money is just energy. And if you don't put the right energy out in it, then the money you spend can be spent in different energy fields where you want it to be. So that was very interesting. What I really noticed as well is not just spending the money, but also how to make the money, and different ways of doing that, and opening up your mind to possibilities of not just spending it, but also how to have that velocity within spending and making it as such, and gaining it. So that was very interesting, because there's been so many different opportunities and options flowing my way again as well while everything was happening. So even though I was in like a bit of a sad kind of energy and everything else what was happening, I was also in a very grateful energy. and that will reflect straight back into it as well. And so grateful for so many opportunities what came during a very sad time in the last couple of weeks. So it's just what I really feel. It's just that whole energy is you can manifest very quickly, but it is with the right intent and the right energy where you want it to be in that higher self rather than your poor me self. And like, oh, I don't know where to spend the money on, or I don't know how to get the money. You will never get that. So it's just the energy and the higher frequencies you're in to actually, be able to spend it. And coming from the heart, what we said, we're all coming from like, we want to help others, not coming from the ego kind of side, but really coming from the heart is just what is the game changer, I think, for me at least, in many ways. And you see how that is done, and you see how the energy changes when people speak about it and actually action on it.
Yeah, look, the one thing I loved about what you said, it was right at the beginning, is be specific. You did go to Europe, but it was for the reasons you didn't want to go to Europe. So that might have been what was on your list before. And that's, in the game, that's why there is that description. Try and be as descriptive as you can as you're spending the money. For me, if I'm doing something for the family, if the family's going to be involved, it's fun for the family. It's not just go to the Gold Coast, it will be Gold Coast, have fun for the family. So that's very important. The other thing Alison said, good point, Nicolette. Intention and energy are important for manifesting 100%.
And I think it was very interesting as well that ever since we moved overseas, which has been like almost 25 years ago now, we always had like a little reserve for those kind of flights we have to make. And we've had that for years and years and years. And it was actually since a couple of years, we haven't had it as much as really set aside. But you still find the money. Doesn't matter. Because I was like, why do I need to put it aside for something I don't want to spend the money on? But in the way you want to make that flight home when your parents pass away. But it will happen. So why not? Why keep the money aside? Why not just spend it and just be confident and be in alignment that there is always the money. You don't need to set it aside. It's always there. And that's what happened.
And one of the important things with regards to that is when something like that happens, it's not, I can't afford it. It's how can I afford it? How will I get that money to go? And as you said, but as you said, the air tickets were quite astronomical. So, I'm finding everything quite expensive right now with inflation. It's really hitting home hard. So for the last 5 minutes or so, I want to, has anybody had any insights over the last week as they've been spending the money? Nobody?
I'm just thinking about that while Nicolette was talking. There, I remember a section of my life where I had a dream was to build an ocean-going yacht and mum, dad, and the kids and go away sailing. But that didn't actually happen. But one day a guy came into my office and he said, Treadaway, he said, how's your boat coming along? And I said, the plans are in the corner, Brian. He said, the darn thing won't get built there. Now, carry on a little bit further in a couple of months, and this story about focus, about the insights and what Nicolette was saying, that I rented a shed and to build it and hired a boat builder, and then he had to leave and go on another project. But in the process, I didn't know where this money was coming from. And this was a 40-foot boat, and I'd already bought the mast and 7 big packets of plywood, And then I was in the metal window business and maintenance, and I priced a job and I put a dot in the wrong place. But in the wrong place, it was the right place for me because it was $250,000 too much, and I was the only one who got the job, priced the job. But in the process of this big job, we had to sort of refurbish a curtain wall on a building. So instead of refurbishing it, we cut new dies and built new windows. And I sold all the old aluminium windows for cash, and that funded the boat. And the $250,000 funded the boat, and the money come from somewhere because my wife at the time and I we were totally focused on that, and we ramped the business up, and the money come into the business, and it was the focus seemed to attract things, and it was really interesting just sort of listening to Nicolette and always had the money and spent 10K on this and whatever, and but the point is that the focus makes a big difference, in there, and I think it's the same in anything. You get the focus on something, and good things happen. Like worry is negative prayer, in my opinion. And but the point is that if the story was about the focus and the energy we chucked into it, and the sacrifices we made to get to where we want to get to, and we spent 3 years sailing around the Pacific and not working, so and it was, and that's sort of what the money does, the money just gives you that choice or not to choose, type of thing, Anyway, that's my little rant from across the ditch today. Okay.
Firstly, what I want to say is what a great story, and Alison put that in the chat as well. And that is a great story, and that it's really what I want to highlight. What this game is, it's just a tool to help you focus on what you want. Do you have to go, Claire?
Yeah, I do. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much. Really insightful. See you next time.
All right. See you next week. All right. We're almost finished anyway, but just what this game is, it's all about helping you maintain your focus. As you said, what you put out is what you get back. And a lot of people are too worried about how they're going to pay the next bill. So when we start to change our focus to abundance, that's what's going to start coming back towards us. All right. Okay. Look, with that, I think, does anybody have any last words, or are we going to just go spending? Yes, Alison.
You know me, Paul, I always have something to say. I was actually putting in the chat that what this game does is it lifts what they call your money thermostat, right? And therefore, that's your comfort level, if you like, because sometimes we get into this mindset of, I'm used to making $50,000, so to even think of me making $100,000 is just, something that I can't fathom. And so therefore, our money thermostat is at 50,000. Whereas if we lift our money thermostat and get used to earning 100,000, then we're able to be at that thermostat level for a while, just like you do in your home heating. And then you can turn up the temperature. In this case, you can turn up your money comfort zone and get out of that comfort zone. So changing our thermostat, well, this game, I believe, helps us to change our thermostat, because now we're spending money by the thousands every day. Whereas normally to spend money by the thousands would take either a lot of time, time to build up, and a lot of kind of thought processing and juggling our priorities. So now I can't buy this boat, for example, using Ray's current example, because I've got to pay for the kids' education or whatever. But this game gives you the wherewithal and the freedom just to buy the boat and still have money for the kids' education. So I just wanted to sort of mention that in terms of giving us increasing our comfort zone or our thermostat.
I love that thermostat analogy. I think, is it Anthony Robbins, or I heard that somewhere many years ago?
I heard it from Mary Morrissey.
Mary Morrissey. Okay, I think I heard it from Anthony Robbins about 20 years ago. And we all have this thermostat. And if we start to go over that thermostat, we come back into that thermostat. Or if we go under that temperature, we will come back into that thermostat. So if we play this game, you're absolutely right. We're increasing it. And what I found just playing the game, if you could just 10 times your income, what you are now, you've got more than you'll ever need, kind of thing, right? Anyhow, look, with that, let's all go out and spend next week, and let's see how we go. I look for much better description of the thermostat. Oh, Alison,
Okay, guys, take care. Have a super week.
I'll see you all guys next week. Bye.
And
Right.
yeah.